Hi, I'm Susan D'Angelo, and I'm here today with the President and CEO of Iyesee Live Video Surveillance, Gary Sani.
Thank you, Susan, for having me on your show.
Our pleasure. Gary, this sounds like a fantastic idea to help keep businesses and people safe. What more can you tell us about Iyesee?
Iyesee happens to be a live monitoring service. That is what is unique about Iyesee. It's revolutionary. It's the changing of how we view the safety, the future, and how we see our employee conduct and how we can make our business better and safer place in the world today.
Unlike Iyesee, it seems most companies have a lights-off monitoring, which means that the alerts are activated by sensory devices.
The idea of Iyesee is to have a live monitoring service when the lights are on. So when your business is on, we're monitoring it live. A few years back, we had an incident in Wisconsin in schools where elementary students were. It was a very devastating and very hurtful thing. And I think that's where the Iyesee, the whole idea actually came up about. School security, who's actually coming in, what they have now is the buzzer. Okay, so you buzz in and you come in. But what they don't have is cameras, and even if they do have cameras, they're not live on security cameras. We want to be able to know who's actually walking in, who's walking out of the schools.
Gary, what other kinds of businesses would benefit from Iyesee?
So there's multiple industry can benefit, including the government factor as per roads, cars. We really call it the Uber of the security at this point, because we're on the go. We can have things live and make the alerts on live basis. All these businesses have cameras, but what they don't have, it's a lights on service. That is why all these businesses need light on services.
Now, do you do lights off also?
Correct. We offer both services. But like I mentioned, there's more things that occur on lights on than on lights off. A lot of these small businesses do not have much time to spend time with their families and the loved ones. So Iyesee actually gives you that comfort where you can spend time with the family while we are the eyes for you while you're not in your own business.
How is Iyesee different from the apps that people can use on their phone when their child comes home and then they can see the child coming through that door? How is your service different from that?
That's a very good question, and that's a great service that has come on, but that has to do with on a motion basis. And a lot of these services are based on only on residential. So on residential cameras are based on motion. So if someone's at your door and the motion comes on, they're able to see that somebody's in your front door. Or if somebody rings the bell, automatically your app comes on. It tells you that somebody's in your at your house.
So you don't need a sensor to come on in order to have the live feed.
We have live people monitoring it.
So then your video feeds are sent to a data center, which are monitored live 24/7?
We're monitoring it all around, okay? And I've seen a lot of differences in different industry that where we can prevent things. Somebody walking into the school, somebody walking into the hospitals. This incident has happened in New York 3 years back in the hospital, okay? So, and it happened by the doctor. So again, if Iyesee was part of the deal, I'm not saying we could have saved someone, but we could have definitely caught things before that something could have happened.
And most security companies operate on a lights-off basis, which means the business is closed, and alerts are only activated by sensory devices such as motion or fire or door or window sensors.
And you know, Susan, I tell you, coming from multiple industries, from IT to hospitality to retail to now to security, most of your theft and most of your unseen things you would think, that happens when the lights are on. I personally have been a victim throughout my life and my career. I used to work at a gas station where I was pulled by a gun, and you know, somebody put a gun on my head and actually took the money. But if we had the Iyesee at that point, I think that situation could have been taken action upon much more immediate basis than taking it 30-40 minutes later, coming in and saying, can I have the tape? so we can monitor who the person was. There's a lot of predators out there. We want to make sure we're able to protect all this. Coming into the school, it's like I mentioned, we're working on a device that could actually radarly, wirelessly, can monitor if there is some kind of a weapon device somebody's walking into. Because we don't have what we have at the airports where you're actually going through the metal detectors. Okay, we don't have those in schools.
It's wonderful when alerts are generated when the business is open and staff and customers are just going about their day-to-day business.
We have noticed where customers are waiting for more than 20 minutes not getting service. That's a live monitoring that we can prevent employee conduct, including company enhancement to do a better business and better service in the market.
So Iyesee is not only a monitoring service for security, but for compliance and business improvements as well. Is that right?
That is correct. So our focus point is security, to monitor things for unseen to happen. If someone's walking in and has a weapon in their hand, I mean, before anyone can even take an action, our Iyesee team will take an immediate action and have the law enforcement there in seconds. So it's not just a security side, it's also a customer service side. So Iyesee offers multiple range of things that can change and enhance on service side of it. And foremost and the most important to us is security and live alerts.
Now, Gary, you've talked about schools and hospitals and businesses. How can you help public safety?
You know, it's kind of funny you touched that subject, because I think that's foremost the most important. Okay, having a public safety where you see accidents and roadside assistance needed, and having an immediate response by the law enforcement, I think that can really help things out.
With technology constantly advancing, what do you see next for Iyesee?
One thing that Iyesee is coming out with, and I'm really excited about, it's on the Android and the Apple app. We're creating an application called Iyesee app. And Iyesee app will be for small businesses, to even moms or dads who are about to go on vacation or about to go somewhere for a few hours. You could actually say, monitor my home or my business from 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. or 8 p.m. to 7 p.m. and we will a la carte based on what service or alert you're looking for.
So Gary, unlike these wonderful people in your audience, I am not technically savvy. So my big question is, how easy is this to use?
Can you turn your phone on and off?
Yes, of course.
It's that simple as it gets.
How would you protect the personal safety of a person who, let's say, is in another city, they're using some kind of a taxi service, they don't know the driver or maybe even where they're going because they don't know the city? How do you personally protect that person?
I think you touched such a beautiful thing, and you got me all excited. I'm glad that we touched the subject. Iyesee clients will automatically get a data. Once you get on the car or a bus, you could actually have on your app, have the Iyesee app on, and that is automatically tracking. It's called a track device.
So not only can businesses do this, but individuals can purchase this.
So we will track your safety at that point. So let's say if something unseen to happen or there's a harassment taking place, since the track device is there, all that person has to do is push the button, say call police. Our Iyesee department will immediately track that person where it is, and the law enforcement should be there ASAP. Iyesee is not just a security. Iyesee is a track devising. Iyesee is it's employee conduct. Iyesee is to improve and enhance your business. Iyesee is for your personal safety. So whichever city you're on, all you have to do, or whichever transportation you're sitting on, you just have to log into the Iyesee and say on, and Iyesee is tracking wherever you are going. And if there is something to happen, all Iyesee tells you to do is just push the simple button saying emergency, whether it's police, ambulance, or fire. You just click on the button and help is on the way.
I know people are cost conscious. How affordable is this?
This is one of the most important things that a business needs to look at. Do they need to look at their cost, or do they need to look at their efficiency? looking on the both side of it, I see a lot of R&D looking at which is the best median for all. And we've come up with for me to give you an accurate number, it's hard for me today, but it will be less than a coffee a day.
Gary, it seems like you have answered all of our questions, but in case there are any other questions that somebody may have, how can they find out more information?
You could always go to the website www.iyesee.com.
Gary, and how do you spell IC?
IYESEE.com.
Gary, thank you so much for being here today and letting us know how IC can help make businesses and people be more safe. Gary Sani.
Thank you.
If you would like to learn more about IC Professional Security, visit their website at www.ic.com.